Hey, you're thinking about moving to Seattle, Washington, and you're considering a suburb around it like Newcastle? Well, in today's video, I'm going to take you through the town of Newcastle, located just 12 miles south of Seattle. We are sandwiched in between Bellevue to the north, Issaquah to the east, and Renton directly south. So absolutely beautiful, upscale community. I'm currently on the top of the prestigious golf course here, up sitting on the east side, really close to Issaquah over here. So if you want to know more about Newcastle and what it might have to offer for you and your family, then stick around. Kelsey Anderson, and I am a local realtor, and I like to put out content about the different suburbs around Seattle. So if you are someone that is thinking about relocating to the area, you can watch my channel and get to know the different suburbs around it so you can see what would be a best fit for you. So whether you're moving in 7 days or 7 months, get in contact with me using the information in the description below so I can help you make that move over to Seattle, Washington. So like I said, we are over here at the golf club at Newcastle. Incredible golf course here. There's a practice course. It's like 5 par 3s, 8 par 4s, and 5 par 5s, as well as a really amazing restaurant in the clubhouse. But I think the best part about this golf course is just the incredible views. So I'll show kind of behind me, you've got Cougar Mountain and the Alps over that way. And then just beautiful Lake Washington over there in the distance. And you can actually see Seattle, but you can see the mountains, both the Cascades and the Olympic Mountains. Just absolutely incredible. So Newcastle is a small residential town, just about 15,000 people. Median home price here is $1.4 million. Just beautiful residential, small kind of suburb of Seattle. So stick around and let's get to the next spot. Hey, we are over here in Lake Boren. This is the most popular community park out here. Newcastle is known for its parks and trail system throughout this beautiful small suburb just south of Bellevue, Washington. There's a small little residential lake behind me, and this is just a great park to gather as a community. So you will see volleyball courts here, basketball, tennis. Behind me, you'll see a little bit of a stage. This is hugely popular, especially in the summer. Right now, we're just kind of approaching spring. It's still winter here in Seattle, coming here in March of 2024. But so it's called Fourth at the Lake. There are community concerts here and just other events that a lot of families really enjoy coming to. There's a great little kids park here, lots of benches and tables and all that good stuff for the family. So just a really great community park that's awesome for families or people that just want to walk around with a friend. They don't want to go all the way, to Lake Washington. So next up, we're going to see what the homes have to offer here in Newcastle, Washington. Hi, we are going to be checking out 3 different homes at 3 different price points so you can get an idea of what homes here in Newcastle just under the median and then the median home price and then just what over the median home price would look like in Newcastle, Washington. So we are kind of on the south part of Newcastle, really close to really close to Renton, Washington. So on the south side, bordering Renton, just south of us here, a really easy access to the freeway here, still about just 5-6 minutes from that downtown community area where you've got all your local amenities and shopping and restaurants, things like that. These homes were built back in the 70s and 80s. The home I'm going to show you is priced right at $1.150. So $1,150,000. It's 3 beds, 3 baths, and it's on about 1/3 of an acre. So I definitely think a lot of the value of this home, here it is right behind me, is in the property itself. So just really quaint, tranquil, private backyard. The street itself, you're situated on just a cul-de-sac. It's super quiet. Definitely feels like Bellevue and parts of Issaquah, even parts of Renton. There's some construction going on behind me, as you can hear a little bit. There's some new homes going in that space. But yeah, this home is priced at $1.15, so that means that the price per square foot is at $612. So a little bit on the steep side. It has 1,880 square feet, so just under 1,900 square feet. I think it's just a nice little private place. Definitely could use some upgrades inside. That's why it's going to be on that lower than the median home price side of things, but definitely good bones, vaulted ceilings, things like that. So homes here in Newcastle, again, about between 1.4 and 1.5 million is the median home price, and then Condos are right around the $1 million point, and apartments can range anywhere between $1,700 all the way up to $3,700 if you're looking for those newer places and close to the Newcastle Commons that have 3 bedrooms. So definitely can get up there. Next up, we are going to be hitting house number 2. Before we go though, I do want to say this house feeds into the Renton School District. So kids will be going to Hazen High School and be a part of that. But I will say that they are the best part of Renton School. So even though part of Newcastle goes to the Issaquah School District, which is a little bit higher rated than Renton, we're still going to the good schools here. All right, let's head over to house number 2. Here we are at house number 2. This home is going to be right at that median price point. So just under $1.5 million. This home behind me sitting up on this beautiful hill is huge. So it's 3,500 square feet. It's 3 beds and 4 baths. Built back in 1990. And you can just see these views behind me. So that is Cougar Mountain over in Issaquah, but this is just incredible access to 405 here. We're really close to a Lake Boren Park, and then just incredible trail systems in here. Just driving in, I hit 2 different trails that just residents can kind of go to just in this little local neighborhood, which makes the walkability just really great. Not as far as like to restaurants, you're gonna have to drive about 5 minutes into that downtown area, but you can definitely just kind of have a great time just walking around the neighborhood here. So this home is on a little bit of a hill. It's on about 1/3 of an acre and just being priced at $1.46 million. It brings the price per square foot to $417. So this is that middle point home, and kids here are actually going to be a part of the Issaquah School District. So award-winning Issaquah School District kids here will be going to Liberty High School, which is located over in Renton, again just south of Newcastle, Washington. Let's go head over to house number 3. All right, now we are over here at house number 3. You can see this is going to be brand new construction. So we're in a little bit of an older neighborhood in Newcastle, just a little bit further south of where we just were, close to Lake Boren. So a little bit more close to the border with North Renton. You can see some of the homes have just been redone beautifully. This neighborhood itself, these homes are built back in the 70s. Some of them need a little bit of an update. So you can see they just developed some new homes. The home I'm about to show you is priced right at about $2.23 million. So really nice. Obviously above the median home price here in Newcastle, Washington. So this home I'm about to show you, and I'll show you some pictures of, obviously it's still being built, but this home is 4 beds and 4 baths and 3,800 square feet. So huge new construction built in 2024. The property itself is sitting on 7,500 square feet. So really big, sizable area, especially for new construction. Usually you have properties on 4,000 or 5,000 square feet. So really big, brings the price per square foot to $588. So definitely up there, nicer than that house number 2. This house is going to actually feed into the Renton School District, and definitely the best schools in my opinion. So kids here will be going to Risden Middle School and Hazen High School and things like that. But again, great proximity to downtown Renton. You're close to the Landing and Coulon Park. Just a lot of those upscale restaurants that are down over there by Southport that I've taken you to in some of my other videos. Just a great place, really quiet, kind of just tranquil, a little suburb here. You can just kind of get a vibe for the area. We're just in a little cul-de-sac, just really quiet, I think private place to live with your family. So definitely see why the price point is so high, and hope you're enjoying some of the pictures because this is going to be a fantastic little community. So next up, I'm going to take you to the schools so that you can get an idea of where the high schools are located and what's up with that. Kids in Newcastle, Washington are either a part of the Issaquah School District to the east or Renton School District to the south. You're definitely going to want to do research when you buy a home in Newcastle to see which district your kids will be a part of. Let's start with Hazen High School, which is a part of the Renton School District. There are 1,872 students at this high school, and 60% of kiddos are passing tests in ELA, and 43% are passing in math. The average SAT score is 1220, and the average ACT score is 29, as reported by niche.com. The graduation rate is 91%. Next up, we have Liberty High School, part of the
Issaquah School District. There are 1,491 students attending Liberty, and 84% are passing in ELA, and 56% are passing in math. The average SAT score is 1,300, and the average ACT score is 31, again, by niche.com. The graduation rate is an impressive 97%. Now, Newcastle isn't directly on the water, but there is a nearby beach actually called Newcastle Beach Park, and it's located in Bellevue, but really on the northwest corner of Newcastle, right at exit 9 off of 405, which is the same exit you would take to get to that north part of Newcastle. So this is a great beach park. You can swim, you can have a picnic. It has a little nature trail and also a 300-foot dock. Just a really great place to gather and just be outside at this humongous beach park. Because Newcastle, Washington is more of a residential suburb of Seattle, Washington, I want to take a moment to sort of do a driving tour and show you more of the neighborhoods than I usually do. So beyond those 3 homes, I want to show you just what living in Newcastle, Washington would really feel like. The homes are well taken care of, as well are the yards, and it just feels very suburban. So some of the homes are closer together, some of them have more land, but for the most part, they're between 1/4 and 1/3 of an acre. Some of the homes were built back in the 80s, and there's a newer development that came about in the last year or 2. But for the most part, you've got homes in the late 80s, 90s in these neighborhoods, and some of them have incredible views of Lake Washington. So on the west side of Newcastle, you've got incredible views of Lake Washington. And then of course on the east side, kind of close to where we were at the start of this video, up on Newcastle Golf Club Road, you've got the views on the back side. So looking over at Tiger Mountain and those places over in Issaquah. So lots of spots in this sort of hilly, scenic suburb. You're gonna get views in a lot of the areas, but just wanted to show you more of these homes, so please enjoy this driving tour. To show you where all the local amenities are in Newcastle, Washington. So as we drive through Coal Creek Parkway, which is the main drag going from north to south, splitting Newcastle in half, you've got all of your basic shopping needs. So you've got Safeway and QFC, as well as your pharmacies and restaurants. It's also where the public library is, and some local favorites like B&E Meats and Seafood, as well as Newcastle Fruit and Produce Stand, which has local plants that are available fresh throughout the year, as well as other things you might need for your home and fresh fruits and vegetables, things like that. We call this little place Coal Creek Village or Coal Creek Marketplace, but it is really a central focal point for Newcastle. Some notable restaurants in this part of town are Yee's Wok, which is a Chinese place, and for Mexican food, you can't miss out on Tapatio's Mexican Grill. Heading a little bit further up north, really on the Bellevue border of Newcastle, just north of where we just were, is the Newcastle Commons, which is brand new. It has your Starbucks, your Mod Pizza, some really great ice cream place called Frosty Barrel, and some yummy American food at Blazing Onion. A little bit further back in this area is the Newcastle Commons townhomes, which look really fancy and are situated in this nice little back area behind the Newcastle Commons. Another great reason this is super convenient is Overlake Medical Clinics also added an office out here, so it has urgent and primary care located right in this central spot in Newcastle. Let's head over to a wonderful gem located in Newcastle kind of embracing that outdoor, beautiful green space that Newcastle, Washington is amongst.
Hey, we are ending today's vlog tour in Newcastle at Coal Creek Trail. This is a fantastic place. I've been here several times with friends and family. It's a 3.7-mile trail. There's a couple different trailheads. We're at the Bellevue entrance, which is just north of Newcastle, but there's also entrances in Issaquah and Newcastle, just because it kind of goes north, well, north and south, I should say. And we're just on the backside of Cougar Mountain. So there's a trailhead leading into tons of trails over at the Cougar Mountain Wildland Park, and just lots of great outdoor spaces here in Newcastle. So I hope you had a great time getting to know Newcastle a little bit better, the schools, the downtown community, the parks, places like that. So hope you got content out of this video. If Newcastle is not your spot, definitely check out my other videos to learn more about the suburbs around Seattle, Washington. If I don't get to meet you and your family soon, I hope you have a fantastic day and hope to see you around town. See you later.